how
think
can you
about it.
compete at all unless you're pushing fiat? So,
Well, dude, they're all dopers, right? So like head to tail, tip to toe, they all dope. It's just some of them get caught. And that's the only wrinkle. But if you're not doping, you're not competitive, dude. Like it just isn't going to happen.
yeah.
So
Well, there's crazy stories where, like in the Olympics and stuff, they'll, as they're training and at peak performance and whatever, they'll extract blood that has whatever oxygenated levels and hormones or steroids or whatever in it. And then leading up to their performance, they'll inject just their own blood back into themselves to get all supercharged with the peak blood.
what on earth was that noise, sir? Were you about to be attacked by a super space alien?
Was it on my end? I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything? Oh, maybe it's just like some weird thing with your mic. Anyway, how's the Oregon coast?
Actually, it's perpetually kind of overcastish, misty, but not that it looks like it, but it's that real thick kind of misty.
Yeah.
But it's not raining. It's actually kind of sunny, even in like you call it low sun. We were talking about exercising my eyeballs, the pupil and the iris, where I always typically wear my sunglasses for stuff. And I've been practicing going without just to give my eyeballs some exercise.
Yeah, that's good, man. Like that was Stephen Lubka. For those
Yeah.
of you who don't know who that is, he used to be some higher up at Swan, who's now
Swan.
higher up at somewhere else. But he put out a whole, like he was like a sun god guy, right? Like he would just go out and like worship the sun constantly. And I remember he put out like a little like thought paper or something. I mean, it was like almost an academic paper, but not quite. Totally changed my mind about the sun. Like I mean, I grew up in New Mexico, and it's like the sun cancer or the skin cancer capital of the world or something. And I grew up with this idea, like, never look at the sun, just stay inside, be a vampire, sunscreen, all that kind of stuff. And then I read his paper, and it totally transformed me. But I started going out, and one of his recommendations was like, ditch the sunglasses, dude. Like you're absolutely weakening your eyeballs by doing that.
Yeah.
And if you try that in New Mexico, it's a trip, man, because it's high up here and it's bright. Like it is, there's no atmosphere to get in the way of stuff. You just like, but now I'm like able to sort of like tolerate the sun. It's like it's actually nice. Like it feels really good. Like I kind of forgot that I own sunglasses. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like exercise. So you get acclimated to it. Your whatever muscles in your eyes are they actually have to work. It'd be like if you're facing a screen all day, every day, and you hear about that, but growing up with screen time and the stretching of your pupils and iris and all that, they get kind of static a lot. You're not like looking around, shifting your eyeballs. Your eyes are used to like moving, fluctuating, handling light, handling darkness. And anymore, we have ambient light all the time and things that are just a foot away from us all the time.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I'm trying to practice the eyeball exercise. So
just throw your sunglasses in the trash and call it a day, dude. But I'll tell you what, man, there's like two things that I think people really underestimate in the modern world. And that is you need to chew tough things and you need to exercise your eyeballs, right? If you go look at all like the old Inuit pictures from like pre-colonization or meeting the Westerners or whatever in post, like their teeth are like amazing, like they're super strong and just perfectly straight. And then they get introduced to Western diets where they're just eating mush all day, like bread and potatoes and whatever, and like
sugars too, yeah,
boiled meat. And well, even less so the sugars. Like what happens is their teeth start doing this kind of stuff. Like they just get all janky because like you need to work your teeth to make them strong in the socket, right? And so like all these little mechanisms of life that like the fiat world has sort of negated for us make it so we are like becoming just weaker and weaker and weaker as physical specimens, right? Like our teeth just fall out and rot. But the Inuit were up there like with their Colgate and brushing twice a day and flossing, like, and they had just amazing teeth. But like all Aboriginal tribes always have amazing teeth until they just fall out from age or whatever. And those people, when their teeth finally do fall out, it's because they're like 112 and they probably started eating mush. They quit eating the soft stuff, right? So yeah, exercise your teeth, exercise your eyeballs. It sounds kind of silly, but life is a struggle. Life is proof of work. It's not kick back and stare at one of these things all day. So
it reminds me, like just earlier this week, it's the annual time to, what do they call it, re-enroll in your insurance, and
Ugh.
the county is well. So, go figure. Rates go up. Everything's more expensive. It's surreal for me because I'm blessed, I guess, with some natural good health, and I don't have real issues. And I've been hurt, but then I work it out and manage pain and avoid painkillers and do the PT and just try to take care of myself. And lo and behold, I got better this last time I got injured. But that was a bear. But anyway, I go into this. HR comes in with their annual health enrollment and all the options. And I'm jaded because I freaking hate the insurance racket, the insurance game anyway.
Yeah.
I hate it, especially in America, when you look at the stats on healthcare costs and the benefits we get. Like at one level, you could say, oh, we get pretty good benefits. But compared to like all over in the world, the costs versus effective service,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
like
horrible, dude.
off the chart.
Yeah.
And so everything I see about, and it's this whole razzle dazzle. Like, I want to say, if you boil it down, it's into like the fear of shit could happen, and my life's insecure, and I need to be taken care of. Not to judge people who like need a certain kind of care or who have an ongoing issue that they know how to manage and they want to invest in their FSA account or whatever. I just am like, give me the absolute damn minimum. I don't want anything. And they're like, oh, well, you can add on Nationwide and you can add on Life Flight and you can add on this extra thing in your FSA. And I don't even know what all the add-ons you can add on.
Right.
But they take half your paycheck to basically give you the
Nothing.
security feeling of insurance, I guess.
Right. Because they'll revoke it the second anything happens to you, dude. So, they're like that guy that got shot up in New York, and all the leftist women just came out and like wanted to gobble on his joint because he,
Yeah, what's his name?
But the guy had a point, right? Like, that insurance company is notorious for like, what was it? Deny, defend, depose, or whatever it was. Or I mean, but like all they do is just go, oh, you got a claim? Well, go fuck yourself, right? I mean, that's like the straight up, like one after another. I'm not saying the guy should have been murdered, but I go, well, I'm not losing any sleep over it either. So
yeah, people legitimately hate that shit because it's like, oh yeah, oh your house got creamed by hurricane stuff. Well, you had flood insurance, but you didn't have wind insurance. So
sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you had wind insurance? Well, you didn't have flood insurance. Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's like they make their money anyway. And then any claim they can deny on top of that for reasons or whatever is just more money.
More money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it is literally a racket. Like, anybody that takes a look at it, you go, well, what kind of business is it that it's guaranteed that I'm going to pay more than I'm going to get out? You go, well, that's insurance. It has to, or else the game doesn't work, right? So, yeah. And, in the era of the corporate raider and the corporate philosophy of maximize all profits at all times and all that kind of nonsense, it's like, yeah, you're 100% gonna be confronted with people that are doing extractive things to you, but that's the price of a consumer-based economy, right? You go, well, hey, we in the United States are 70% of our GDP is consumer spending. You go, well, how did you get that up? Like, how did you get to 70% where you're actually consuming more than you make? Well, we sell things like $500 a month insurance. And we employ legions of baboons that sit there and push buttons behind the scenes so we can afford to pay them based on your $500 per month insurance, right? And then we make it mandatory. And, so that's how that capture game goes. It has to. Like, if you want to live in a consumer economy where all you get to do is just walk down to the store and buy like meat that's cut for you and, vegetables that are already prepared for you and all this kind of stuff, like the cost of that is also that you have to pay for all the other services and things that you don't necessarily need, right? So I don't know, man. Buy Bitcoin, stay humble, stack sats, sign your balls.
Bitcoin. Now I had my thoughts in my head long before Bitcoin, but Bitcoin solidified reasons and my incentives behind it all, so that every year when the health options come around from HR and they have the talk, and one, you have to go to this meeting, you have to hear it all, and you have to fill out the form, and you cannot opt out. You will get insurance. It's just a matter of which plan you pick. Thou shalt be covered. but on top of that is all the offerings of everything else, um, and the county's paying a chunk of it anyway, but they can't get off the hook either. Like for the insurance thing for them is that they need their employees covered, and on one hand you could say, well, that's the right healthy human thing to do, is to take care of your employees. At another level, there is no opt out.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Well, you know,
I'm
that's the funny thing. Like,
no issues and never have. Can I opt out? No. And if you do the math, it's
you would
hundreds
have
of
saved, yeah.
dollars of the minimum is hundreds of dollars a month.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like you over your lifetime, especially if you actually take care of yourself. Like the thing is, you said earlier, like I have some sympathy for people with ongoing conditions, blah, 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 blah. And I go, I really don't anymore.
I don't.
I mean, like there is a subset of people that have chronic illness, right? Like genetically or whatever, through like environmental exposure to toxins and things like that they had no control over, right? And then there's the overwhelming body of just big, fat, lazy people that just want a pill and don't want to do anything. And so they'll sit there and let their diabetes get out of control, and they'll let their this get out of control, and they'll be drinking and alcoholic and this and that and the other thing. And they just refuse to exercise. They refuse to walk more than 10 feet. They have to have a little go scooter cart, or they have to do this, or they have to park as close as they possibly can, or they'll drive a block away and do like shit like that. You just go, well, how do you think human beings survived for the last 250,000 years? I don't think it was just from sitting in the cave getting fat. It was from like being out, being active, and even myself, like I can look at the world and go, oh yeah, well, I'm doing better than them. But I saw this really interesting interview with a guy who went down and lived with the Hazda in was it Tanzania, I think. It's a African tribe. These guys are pure hunter gatherers still to this day, right? Like they're hunter gatherers that consume what they as they go, right? There's no like hoarding or stocking or raising goats or whatever. And this guy said, man, I'm in really good shape. I could not keep up with these guys at all. Like these guys can run all day, and then they're running through the desert, and then they'll stop and drink like a cup of water, and then they'll keep going, and they're good. I'm out there just like dying, just like, oh my God. And he said his guide was like, these guys are going, hey, how come this guy doesn't know how to hunt? And he goes, oh, you don't understand. Where he's from, other people like go kill his meat for him and cut it all up for him. And they're like, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous. But he said even the little kids could just run circles around him. He's like, the amount of endurance they have, their strength, their overall like fitness level is like what we might consider a professional athlete here. And that's just the average Joe, right? Because they're out using their body the way nature intended it, So for even someone like me who can like crank out 100 burpees and do all this kind of stuff, I'm like, I still couldn't hold a candle to those guys, dude. They'd run circles around me. I am not adapted to like conserving water, and I'm not adapted to like conserving nutrients and things like that, So it's the modern life has its perks, but man, it comes with a cost, and quality of life is one of them. So for all those people that are sitting around that won't even do the bare minimum of like, well, just walk around the block twice a day or something. It's like, oh, but I'm sick. I'm chronically ill. Like, no, you're not. You're chronically lazy. Like you're chronically outsourcing your humanity to someone else so you can be a better farm animal, right? But
yeah,
maybe that's just the way people are.
Yeah, not just farm animals, but quite domesticated. And I mean, we grew up just evolutionarily just walking all day, every day, walking. And nowadays you have to deliberately get your steps in. Like right. I got to get my steps in just so I'm running from the devil for, basically. But anyway, no, the fiat food, fiat health. I mean, one reason, we live like kings out here, Johnny.
Yeah. Please cut my meat and feed me. That's exactly right. That's all of us. Like none of us can escape that criticism, right? It's so true. It's like, oh, but will you cut it for me? The pieces are too big. I might make a mess. Oh, there's fur all over the place. Oh my God.
And then here I am with my kids in the morning where like we're traveling. So the food's a little different what you get or packed or, have on hand while you're, staying somewhere randomly. And it's like, it's the same, say, meat or the same, say, fruit and vegetable. It's just cut differently or tastes differently or isn't quite the same. And so my 4-year-old, go figure, she's like, yeah. And I mean, it's a thing between parents, but my wife's kind of like accommodating. And I'm like, if she's not hungry, she's not hungry.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the healthiest thing you can do for a child in the modern economy is just like let them feed naturally, so they get
Yeah,
used to
right.
feeding naturally, right?
Well,
Because
they
like,
need to eat, but they won't eat unless it's sweet or soft. And it's, I'm just like, that's what it's. This is good food. It's the food we have. If you don't want to eat it, that's fine. I'm not going to force like. Well, so when I was growing up, I had to sit there and finish my plate, and that's a whole nother story.
yeah,
But I'm not going to force my kids to eat or clean their plate. But if they're hungry, and they're not hungry now, but they're hungry later, it's like, hey, we had food then, and maybe I'll accommodate some. But it's a. I just have a different mindset about good food, and if you're not hungry, don't eat.
right, yeah.
But
Well, I mean, it's teaching self-regulation ultimately, right? Like, it's
right,
teaching people to go, hey, man, like, you need to sort of coordinate your needs with a schedule on some level, and if your needs are not being met by that schedule, then you need to slowly integrate that schedule until it becomes synced, right? I think like natural feeding is probably the one, like another critical health issue that people like. There's a reason why so many people are fat, because they're like, oh, you have to eat 3 times a day, 5 times a day. You got to have 3 meals plus 2 snacks. You got to eat 6 small meals. You got like all this like really nonsensical sort of dogma that gets bandied about, where people are just like, I must do this because my blood sugar got low and now I've got headache, right? I mean, it's just like absolute batshit craziness. But if you look at like natural feeding habits, like if you look
Travis.
at any Aboriginal tribe in the world, you go, how often do these guys eat? They go, well, like once every couple of days, they have like a big meal, right? And then the rest of the time, they kind of graze a little bit on like nuts and whatever. Hey, there's a new retard just went. There's our local fed. Have you come to learn about dietary habits of Aboriginals, sir? Hi, Travis. How's it going, man? You want to hop on the stream?
I could send him a link, I suppose.
You
Uh,
could. It's episode
well,
76, dude, the Freedom episode. Did you know Fritz was almost born on the 4th of July?
thank you for watching this video. This is just a short clip from our full episode. So if you'd like to enjoy more entertaining wisdom found in our podcasts in their full context, just click a link in the corner. We are always sharing our big ideas on Bitcoin Liberty Live.